Hey everybody, this is Vito Gesualdi here from DraftMagic.com with another Gatecrash spoiler card. Talking as always with Josh Frankel. How you doing, Josh?
Doing good. Let's
Doing
spoil
good.
this,
Feeling
mother.
funky. Let's get our spoiler on. Josh, we got a multicolored card here. It's a rare. It's a big old creature, but it's got a strange drawback. You might have seen this one. All right, it's Alms Beast. Now, for 2 white and a black, that's 4 mana, you're going to get a big ol' 6/6, which is pretty hefty for just
Ouch.
4
Yeah.
mana. And not the kind of heft you usually see in white or black. But the drawback is that any creatures blocking or being blocked by Alms Beast gain lifelink. So it means even though it's beaten in hard, everything that blocks it, or basically gets into combat with it, is going to be gaining life for your opponent. What do you think about this card, Josh? It's an interesting one.
It's a strange drawback for sure, but I mean, I think it's still just really nuts. Like
Really?
6/6 is ginormous for 4 mana, and
Now we're
so
talking
like
about
great, they
limited
get
right
to chump
now?
block and turn their creatures into healing salves. Good
Now,
for them.
are you talking about limited? Do you like this card?
I'm talking about limited, but I mean, I can see it in constructed too. 6/6 is huge, although 4 mana.
Now,
For something
the reason I
vanilla
don't see this
is,
in constructed is that
it's a
we've got.
question mark. It's definitely a question mark.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. As a 6/6, it's big enough to deal with Thragtusk, but
That's
that's almost worth giving it a look. The reason I think it might not be playable in constructed is that we already had Deadbridge Goliath, which was a 5/5 for 4, very, relevant ability out of the graveyard. Not seeing any play. It might just be because Thragtusk is a million times better.
yeah, I mean, it's
Um,
a little bit of play in that Predator Ooze deck.
Did
I
it?
don't know if you've seen it, but
I have not seen that.
eh.
Although, is it just making a giant Predator ooze?
Well, not just in combination with the Predator Ooze, but it was this Predator Ooze deck. Ran that. It was Greg
Well, the question
Mangler
is,
was
where
there
does
too.
Alms
But
Beast?
I mean,
Yes, you
yeah,
can usually find a
it's
deck for a card, but what is the deck for a big dumb thing that doesn't really have an ability of its own other than being big?
it's a role player. I can see it in like some kind of mid-rangey, control-y deck, just that wants
I
to
see
play
this
something big
in
to
like a
block.
hyper removal deck that makes sure everything's getting out of the way, never gonna block it, and just
Yeah.
beat a couple times with your 6/6 until you get there.
I mean, it's big enough that against like creature decks, it's just a huge giant thing to put in their path. They can't attack profitably into that.
That's
Anything
true.
at a comparable mana cost can't attack into that thing. And then against in control mirrors, it's this giant thing that they have to remove or die very quickly.
I think in limited, I'm definitely going to take this. I don't know if I windmill slam it, as a first pick, but definitely if I'm, Orzhov and I get past this one, it's going in my stack.
Yeah,
It's just so big that, even if it's just sitting there as a blocker with a downside, it's not
they
much
can
of a
never attack
downside.
into that thing.
Nothing's going to
attacks
attack
into
into
that
it.
thing?
It's kind of a giant awesome. And then, maybe later on you go, I want to start trying to do some damage, and you pick their creatures off one by one.
Yeah, it's not like the drawback's irrelevant. Like, if you're racing in the air and you have this guy on the ground, it could make things a little awkward. They have a pump spell.
Yeah, if they just have like
And,
But the thing is, there's nothing that can really attack into it without dying.
well, I mean, if they attack it, if you're against Gruul, say, and they have like a 3/3 attacking into it, and then they blood rush it, they gain they kill
A
it, and
million
gain,
life.
10 life, and
Yeah, it can be
no longer win the
swingy.
race. Like it's still a drawback, but it's still huge.
So I'm going to say high pick and limited. I don't see a constructed future for this card. Josh, what do you think?
I might see some play in construct. It's big
If
enough.
there's
It's
some
simple.
card that punishes life gain for some reason, maybe, or just some, make everything unblockable, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
You can play it combo with Havoc Festival, and then it's just
They can't gain life.
eh.
Yeah, let's play Havoc Festival. Let's make a Havoc Festival deck just so Alms Beast is slightly
Has
better.
no drawback, right?
Josh
The
has
drawback
broken this
then would be
card
your
upside
play.
down, ladies and gentlemen. This is but another Gatecrash spoiler card. Josh, thanks for helping us out here.
Anytime.
Anytime. And as always, check out draftmagic.com for the rest of the Gatecrash spoiler.